All right, man. Diddy trial.
Shout out to Diddy, but shout out to the Diddy trial.
Hey, man, I feel like, let me highlight. So this week, man, on the trial, Mia, the former assistant, was cross-examined. I think she was on the stand last week at the end of the week, and I think she was cross-examined this week. Her testimony, we talked about a little bit last week, but she just was testifying more to the physical abuse, sexual abuse, and attempts to silence her through bribes and threats. I think she was a former assistant. Now, one of Cassie's friends, Brianna, a designer and friend, she alleged that Puff dangled Cassie over a 17-story balcony this week. Also,
that's a lot of person.
The security guy was on the stand this week. The one that got $100,000 from Puff
from the
hotel to get rid of the video of Cassie. They still don't know how that video leaked, quote unquote. There was one more witness this week.
Daphne?
Not Daphne. That was Daphne. Jane.
Sorry.
I got Jane here, but it was one more. I can't remember. But Jane, the former girlfriend from 2020 to 2024, up until the time he was locked up. And this allegedly is 50 Cent's ex.
That's what the internet is uncovering. That's his last kid's mother, the one he had recently.
So she testified to freak-offs and Puff paying for her lifestyle and mentioned a love contract.
Right. Well, they did mention. Sorry.
Go ahead.
She don't call them freak-offs. She call them hotel nights.
Hotel nights.
So freak-offs is Cassie's thing. Her thing was called hotel nights.
Yo, debauchery.
Yeah.
Debauchery, he would call it. Also, man, nights. I thought it was interesting. Damn. Somebody had testified. I can't remember who it was. Not her testimony. Oh, Puff Daddy looking at the jury in a way. They was detailing
the judge.
That, throughout the trial, he had been nodding very vigorously towards the jury. And so the judge kind of called it out and told him he'll be held in contempt of court if he keep doing that because you can't make mannerisms towards the jury. Man, I
wonder what he's doing. Is he like what is he saying to them? Or what's he trying to inquire to them?
I got your face.
The way they tell it when she recaps what happens, like the defense may say something and the person be like, well, yeah, I mean, we were friends. And he might be like,
oh,
you know what I'm saying? That's how I imagine it. You know what I'm saying?
Or like if she say something, he like that ain't true.
Yeah, like, come on.
I got you.
The more and more that these people take the stand, I'm starting to feel like this ain't a sex trafficking case. This is a relationship gone bad case.
That's what it sounds like.
It's everything centered around Cassie that's making it kind of like that. Like, it's like, why are we keep talking about this same relationship? Now the Jane relationship is being brought up, but it's still, she's not being abused physically.
No. She was just, it sounds to me like she agreed to a freak off. Well, she agreed to have sex with other men, but she didn't want to agree to have sex with other men.
Yeah.
But then you trying to flip that down. This is how I took it. You tried to flip it down the line, like force and coercion, but he paid you for it and you entered a love contract.
Yeah,
I don't.
And she mentioned that she loved him.
Yeah, and you was with him up until the time he was locked up. They gonna tear you apart on Monday.
Bro, that shit sound crazy as hell. You just gotta make everybody sign an NDA. I don't care. We going to Chili's. Sign an NDA. This don't make no sense.
No, fuck on camera. Like, everything on camera. Hey, this is such and such. Tell the camera your name and what we about to do. Is
you gotta get consent on everything you do. I'm going to the bathroom. I got consent to go.
You want to have sex with me, right? Tell the camera. Like, yeah, we gonna put this out in court, nigga.
This shit crazy.
Nah,
it's an interesting. The court case, it started off real heavy and it was a lot of just shocking secrets about like the sex, but now it's 4 weeks in and it's like we kind of numb to the sex stuff.
Yeah, I done got numb to the abuse. I done got numb to the sex. I'm just like, all right, bro, what else? Like, what else I got?
I know there's like SA victims that's in love, but it's a lot of love going around in these trials.
And he's providing certain things for her. It's like, pull out, like you can always say, cause with Jane, she told him that she didn't want to do that no more. There's a couple things she said, but one thing she said was she didn't really want to do the freak offs no more, but she still wanted to like hang out with him and be with him. And he was like, well, nah, but then, we can stop doing that. Like, you only here for this. It's pretty much what he was saying to her. But it seemed like she wasn't really getting it. Because I guess he was giving her $10,000 a month to fund her lifestyle. And he just needed her for the free costs and stuff. And she also, I think this person that she's talking about is Young Miami. She said that she sees him on Instagram with this other girl that he's dating, and she get to go on the trips, and she get to be seen in videos and pictures with him and stuff, and she want that too.
And I think that's twice that the defense has pointed out jealous motives with the abuse victims. She's not an abuse victim. I'm not calling her an abuse victim. But with some of these abuse victims, they have pointed out jealous motives. Honestly, outside of Cassie and the young lady that was
Mia, yeah.
A lot of these assistants and these other people that they got to come to the stand, it's just like y'all couldn't find another job.
So I think to tie up what you're saying, and yes, that is a question that has been kind of circulating, like, why can't you find another job? I've learned this week how they're trying to tie it, and the reason why we keep hearing about this is because they're going to find a way to highlight that, yes, he was paying for their, I think, what's her name? Capricorn Clark.
Oh, yeah.
She was one of the, I guess, start of, if you're taking notes, that was one of the ways of them saying, okay, he was paying for her phone bill. He was paying for her lifestyle. He was paying her all this money. Yes, he was only paying her $50,000, but then he has this girl over here. He's paying her $10,000 a month. And so it's like he's paying them not because he wants to. It's a form of control. And so it's still tying it back to he's running this like an organized crime organization. Like, he's not running it as these are relationships that have gone wrong. He's
but anybody with two eyes can kind of see this is not that.
But what is the crime?
I was going to say
sex trafficking? Is that the crime?
The crime is sex trafficking. They're trying to show intimidation to tie him to other things. Because right now, a lot of what we are saying he had ties to this. Outside of the whole Kid Cudi situation, you got 1,000 people saying he did this. He had a hand in this person dying, da-da-da-da. They can never tie that. That's all hearsay. But what we can prove is that you have been ruling people around you through the form of intimidation by paying them money. So no, they can't go find another.
I guess that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't think what I'm hearing is I don't think me paying for your lifestyle is intimidation.
It can't be.
It can't be because it's how it's happening. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not happening with these people are going into these situations with full consent. Mm-hmm. And at some point, because I'm paying for your lifestyle, which is a part of the agreement that we started off with no violence, now you say you scared, you don't want to leave. I outside of Cassie, outside of the lady that, you know what I'm saying? I think these other people just have vendettas.
Because
it don't sound, you know?
To us, it does not sound that way. And I see what you're saying. It doesn't sound that way to us. But when you are somebody that is trying to maintain a lifestyle and you're willing to do something, that's why it's like Jane is like, oh, I wanted to. She probably agreed to it because she knew it would continue the lifestyle that she loved. But she didn't intend to continue doing it. But so she thought, I can just say, oh, I don't want to do this no more. Not realizing he brought you here for solely this. Like, whoever he with, whatever Instagram girl he with, that's who he's trying to be with or be out seen with. He's not choosing you for that.
But he giving you money.
He's giving you money, and because she wanted to maintain that lifestyle, we all know money is the root of all evil. Some people allow that to dictate how they maneuver. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, okay, he knew that. So he can intimidate them by saying, I'm going to stop paying for this, I'm going to stop paying for that.
That's not intimidation. Okay, stop paying for it. And I guess we're done.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the money coming from him.
Even Johnny just said it wasn't intimidation. He was just like, hey, I bought you here for this one thing. If you don't want to do it, fine, we done. Like, that's not intimidation, nigga. You entered she said, I entered a love contract. Meaning, I get paid to do these things.
Yeah, her situation is weird. Like, I can't really defend that. But I guess, like, intimidation for me is kind of like him threatening to remove the funds in order to get them to continue.
And then my thing was, with the other lady, I don't know if it was Capricorn Clark or whoever it was, she claimed that she couldn't get a job in the industry. When they cross-examined her, they said, no, you had a job in the industry. He never stopped you from getting jobs in the industry. Matter of fact, when you said that, around about that time, you was still working in the industry. So there was times you could have quit your job and got another job. He never tried to blackball you. They proved it. And I'm just like, see, and that's why I'm with some of these witnesses, it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Look,
That's where I'm starting to end up at. Like, what, especially with this new one, like, come on, girl. Dawn, we forgetting about Dawn testimony. Dawn testimony was stupid as hell. When the defense got on the stand, they're like, yo, you felt this way, but just here recently, you said, hey, let's make an album. And you had left him plenty of times with no ties to him and have been able to do. She's done albums, because I've seen them. She's done albums. She's done interviews. She's been able to move about in the music industry. She gonna tell the lawyer, I knew that being next to him would make me profit. So who the victim here? You not a victim.
Sound like a mutual relationship.
That's a mutual, yeah.
Exactly.
Some of these people aren't victims. Like, I'm looking at Cassie, victim. I'm looking at Mia, victim. I'm looking at the girl that was, I don't know if that was Mia or not, victim. Some of these people are just, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, bro, if you got a job and I work for Bad Boy Entertainment and I don't like my hours, I can leave Bad Boy Entertainment.
You can leave. You can leave.
Like, that's a little bit different than I'm fucking this nigga. I love this nigga. He beating my ass. I hope he changed. We don't have the same ties. I'm coming to work every day and I'm doing a job. That is totally different.
And then on top of that, man, you accepting the money, man. You are accepting the money. Then on top of that, look on their history and see what they bought with that money. Because at the end, for real.
Statement.
If your ass out here buying purses, cars, and all this shit, and you still going back to that bullshit, bro, you stupid. You are stupid. And then on top of that, you're walking into the lion's den at that point because you're coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if anybody gave you $50,000 right now, nigga, don't you think $50,000 isn't enough to stop doing whatever the fuck you doing?
Say what now?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
no, I'm just saying, if I gave you $50,000
Okay.
and I'm being abusive to you, if off that $50,000, you could go do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You said take the money and run.
You could go do whatever with that $50,000. Why would you come back?
Because I can come back to you and get another 50 and have 100.
That's crazy.
And to me, you're at that point, outside of the people that's in a romantic relationship, you're not a victim.
Boom.
That's
true.
That's
where I was going with it.
You're not being
That's where I was
held
going
contempt.
with it.
Nobody's coerced. Like, bro, I don't need to coerce my assistant, bro. I can get it. You know how many people lined up to work for Puff Daddy? I don't have to coerce my assistant.
Exactly.
I got to coerce the girl I'm trying to fuck. But I ain't got to coerce no assistant. Nigga, you want to be here or not? Because now the defense is like, this is the picture that they've painted, the defense. Yeah, he's abusive. Yeah, he beat these women, but these people were coming around for them. They was like a family with just a tumultuous relationship. And they all did drugs together. And they all partied together. That's the picture that they're painting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he'll win because they're still proving trafficking in so many areas. And it's always going to be up to the jury. It don't even matter what we talking about. But at the end of the day, I'm ready for the defense to start their shit because I want to see who they got.
Yeah. You know what also crazy is? Besides the people like Cassie's ex-friends, everybody else, like they seem like they don't have like too much of a grudge against Diddy.
Nah, they
Like
don't.
Cassie said she didn't hate him. The girl Daphne seemed like she still, if he still would be interested in being with her, she would be with him. Capricorn Clark, she didn't say she hated Diddy. She said she learned a lot from Diddy. Mia said she learned a lot from Diddy too, even though she was the one I think that got.
I think she got great.
Yeah. But she still, I didn't even think the defense was trying to prove that when they were saying that you admired Diddy, right? And you like what he had did in the industry and you wish you kind of could mold a career similar to his. So it's just like all these people that were really involved, they really don't have a grudge. Just like they know they were there for like a trade-off.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Yeah.
He might have crossed the line with a few of them.
Nah, yeah. And like I said, the people, the great victims, those people that endured that violence, I feel like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, incredibly so, but has an employee, dog. I don't know.
And so it's up to them to figure out, like, are they doing this because they are intimidated? That's really what it's gonna boil down to. What is the meaning of intimidation? How can they prove that? Because if you are now sitting in this room saying all these things that you probably were never supposed to say in front of people about this person, you don't know if he's gonna get off. So if he gets out, it's like, let me just make it very clear, I don't hate you. So make sure you remember that. So it's like it's gonna boil down to
Cameron made that same point. I watched the Cameron interview. He interviewed the Punisher, man. I know I love the way they market shit. You know, they showed you the clip. Hey man, was that pussy good? But no, actually Cameron did a really good.
Nah, he did kill that interview, and he got the seriousness out the way first, and then he
got to the shit. Yeah. So but in that interview at the end, because I watched the whole episode, he does say that he even felt like the Punisher in that interview that he was doing with him was trying to keep it kosher, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
This man could get free, and if he's truly the big bad wolf, he could be on your ass when he come out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like what you saying. They could be saying that to save their neck. We really don't know. We really don't know.
I would say, which is why the judge made it his business to tell him to stop looking at the jury, because the jury, that's one of the things that they think about. It's like, oh shit, if this person gets out, are they gonna remember my face and stuff like that? So that is why. Okay, going back to why he said that. That's why you can't look at the jury that way.
Speaking of the Punisher interview, I do want to highlight that Punisher interview, man. If y'all have not seen the Punisher interview, I think it's very enlightening. It paints a picture. If you're interested in this trial, he paints the picture from the male escort view. He tells his story about the quote unquote freak offs. It's kind of no different than his testimony. I felt like his testimony and the interview with Cameron, and he said he'd been on other platforms. I feel like the interview with Cameron.
I just seen him pop up on Vlad too.
Yeah, he is on the Vlad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they all match. So if you want to get, honestly, if you want to get some more detail, you want a good laugh, because Cameron is funny as shit, bro. Like the faces he making in the interview is dead ass funny.
Them fake ass teeth, like he can't even talk right no more.
He was like, yo, you ever heard of Raw? It was like, yeah. We did have, we did it. We didn't do it the first time. We did it like maybe the 4th or 5th time.
Right. And the nigga said it was a year before he realized it was Diddy and Cassie who he was having sex with.
I think he lied about
He said he thought it was Megan Good. And he said he couldn't.
He might be telling the truth.
He said he kept Googling, trying to figure out who she was. And I guess Diddy used to wear the veil. He used to be butt naked with the veil in the room.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, he would be walking around.
Yeah, so he really couldn't tell who Cassie was. He said he knew she was pretty and he knew she was probably famous, but he didn't know who she was. He said he looked up Megan Good and he was like, okay, it's not her.
It's so many details being left out, man, because
see, he an old nigga.
I watch porn. Yeah. I don't believe that, and we can move off of this, but I don't believe that you had freak offs for days on end and you walked around just beating your meat.
They said that nigga. He said that nigga was walking side to side, beating his meat with a head wrap on.
Per the Punisher story, that's because he said I would come, I would perform, I would leave, I would take a break, and then they would call me back, and I would come back in, and these would go on for 3 days, and I would leave and come back, leave and come back. I'm like, and every time you was there, he was just jacking off. Like, I know you can be addicted to masturbating,
that shit,
but my nigga,
crazy.
Bro was on some weird shit.
Ain't no way in hell you jacked off for 3 days straight.
I know he was
probably
spent. How you getting up the next day?
What drugs, first of all?
That baby oil and the Astroglide. Like, bro wasn't doing it with he was Astroglided up.
And to your point, you are spent, but you high as fuck. So you just shooting out air with a hard dick.
Shooting blank.
Right. He probably not even coming no more.
Yeah, he
probably
wasn't
think
coming.
He
he was just getting that sensation. Because, bro, you high on everything. You just doing it.
Hey, Jane, they asked Jane how many bottles of baby oil did she go through in one night. She said 24.
Yeah, I can see that. Because he would be telling them, like, oil up some more. Position yourself this way.
Bro, baby oil, that's a lot of baby oil. Nigga, a handful to get me straight for the day. So imagine this nigga going through 24 bottles of baby oil in one night.
You are sliding.
That motherfucker
and he over there in the corner with the Astroglide.
Just going to town.
Like, why you don't have another girl over there with you doing something with you,
he
sir?
into what he
now,
into.
I will add in, they said him and Cassie would have sex post
Right.
the freak off.
But
So,
the semen,
he
the
like-
semen
he
would
like
be
the
on
aftermath.
Cassie from the guy. The guy would nut on Cassie near her vagina, and then she would go in the other room and have sex with Diddy. And Diddy, no, Jane said that Diddy liked to play with the nut
semen
while they
from
had
the other guy.
sex.
yeah, it's disgusting.
My nigga Diddy a fool.
that nigga.
Why is you playing
Freak
with
level
another
1,000.
man's nut?
Yeah, that nigga freak level probably unmatched.
Oh man.
What the fuck is going on?
Do
Bro.
you, okay, last question.
All right.
Do y'all think at any point in time during this, he actually has forgotten some of the things that are being testified
Oh,
about?
for sure.
Probably.
yeah.
That's probably
He
why you
probably
looking at
high
the
as
jewelry
hell.
like,
I ain't do that shit.
Bro, he
Yes,
was
you
on
did.
ketamine, Molly, cocaine. Like he was
probably got
high
some
out of his
weed in
mind.
him.
Matter of fact, Johnny brought up a good point because listening to the girlfriend's testimony, Jane, it don't sound nothing like Cassie's relationship. It sounds like a very it's a relationship between two consenting adults, and even the conversation of, well, you know, you don't want to do no more, you can leave. I'm cool. This is what you here for, but I'm with Carisha. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like when he got on Instagram and told us that he was in a dark place, I ain't gonna lie. The way these stories are lining up, and this last victim from 2020 to 2024, and you did all that shit pre-2020,
He might have
my
been in
nigga
a
might
dark
have been in
place.
a dark place. Cause who's to say he's still on those drugs? Like who's to
Right.
say he didn't get off drugs? Because there's moments in these testimonies where he's fighting with them, like, why you letting Cassie use drugs? Don't let her use drugs. So it's like he might have been trying to get clean. She went and got clean. He might have got clean, and now he looking at that shit like, damn. I was really in the dark. He could have been telling the truth on
Right.
that shit.
Cassie
like, listen.
said he would have like this black, his eyes would go black
Yeah.
when he would beat on her. So
For
maybe
being-
he would just be on some other shit. But
Bruh, ain't enough money in the world to be strangling, kidnapping up no chick, and to be rubbing no other nigga semen on me, bro. What the fuck is going on,
The
bro?
nigga, first story, we gonna move on. He said that the first time he came over, he got $2,000 just to rub her down with baby oil. And then she was like, all right, we good. Do you want to finish? Like, do you want to go ahead and fuck and just get your nut? And he was like, nah, I'm straight. And they got $2,000 just to rub her down with baby oil.
Shit, I'll do that.
I mean, everybody.
Man, y'all need a old man.
Every time.
Who need an old man around this motherfucker?
Would you do the role playing if they asked you?
Hell no, I'm not out the oil. I already know. I know about you did it now.
All right,
Give
I
my
want you to
2K.
play a plumber, and then I want you to play a single housewife.
No.